As the state moves closer to legalizing public casinos, that's very positive news for you, who has been an advocate, and your district.
Yes, they made me also chairman of the Racing and Wagering Committee. So I try to be the quarterback to position this. We have to pass the second constitutional amendment this year. And more importantly, after that, we have to do enacting legislation. Enacting legislation talks about where the casinos would go. It talks about benchmarks that have to be reached. When I say benchmarks, job created, how much private capital has to be invested in the region, whether there's going to be public benefits to the region as an economic catalyst, and who would get the 7 licenses. Right now, as of February 1st, we've authorized a gaming commission of seven members. Conference leaders Klein and Skelos on the Senate side pick 1. Sheldon Silver, our speaker, picks 1, and the governor gets 5. So basically, he's controlling the gaming commission. And he will name an executive director that'll be like a CEO of the gaming commission. He hasn't done that yet. But right now, we're negotiating with the governor. The governor would like to, what he said in the state of the state is that there'll be 3 casinos and they'll be upstate. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it's going to be on the borderline of Canada, or is it going to be in districts that we believe sorely need them. In speaking with the governor, I agree with him. We should look at the areas that need it the most. So there'll be game changes. And keep in mind, when I say casinos, I'm talking about resort destinations with the whole package. So I have a particular interest in the Catskills. In the past, with Governor Pataki, he authorized 3 in the Catskills, which the legislature approved, but they were Native American. And we never got Washington to cooperate, so nothing went forward. This way, it has nothing to do with Native American. It's strictly a referendum that once we do our legislation empowering the referendum, the people get to act in November. So I would like to name the 7 geographical locations where these casinos could go and leave it up to the Gaming Commission to actually pick the winner. There will be probably a competitive process. Now, most of the harness tracks, they believe they should get it because they've made an investment in racinos and tracks. The governor's thinking is it should go to the highest and the best bidder. When I say the highest and the best bidder, I mean the amount of money that'll come back to the state for education, the amount of money that'll be invested in the region for the creation of jobs, and public benefits for the region. So if somebody could come in, whether it's a Vegas interest, whether it's other gaming interests that are throughout the United States, and there are, and they've expressed interest in New York, and they come forward and they knock the socks off the harness track with a proposal, they may get the license and not the track. The other thing, and we'll be coming out shortly with a draft of where those 7 areas are. The governor, his preference is to keep it vague, not identify anything, and let the Gaming Commission do everything. I don't happen to agree with that. This is legislative policy. The constitutional amendment in gaming is the legislative prerogative, which we will do in our house, both houses. And I think with the final product, we'll get a hybrid of what the governor wants and what we think where he should go.
I have a question about when the voters get this referendum. When they voted in, is it New York State as a whole, or are you taking it county by county, like different areas, if they say they want it in their area, or is it just a blanket for the whole New York State?
Well, first of all, Governor Cuomo has said where he doesn't want it, and where the unemployment is low, where the economies are doing good. He says we don't need a resort destination.
Right.
They have the resources now to create jobs and grow economic vitality. And he specifically wanted to exclude the island, New York City. And so one of the benchmarks will be the high unemployment areas upstate that need it. And as these discussions go forward, we will be identifying all 7 places. Now, it's not a particular location. It may be one county, it may be 3 or 4 counties that will be in play for the competitive process. And you know, the person that's going to pick where they want to go are the people who have the money. And they want it in the best place where they're going to be able to make money.
Right.
So the marketplace will determine a lot where these resort builders will think they have the best chance of making money.
Right.
And this will all come out more in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And he was talking about 90% of the revenue going to education and 10 to local governments.
I think it's a good starting point. They're top priorities, but we certainly have to help the host communities for the impact of gaming.
Right.
But for the most part, they're the 2 top priorities. You're right, education and property taxes reduction.
Right. A lot to think about.
Always.
Thanks so much for being with us, Senator.
Okay, Julie, thank you.
Thank you for watching Your Voice with Senator John Bonacic. For any additional information on the budget negotiations, stay tuned for the next Your Voice. In the meantime, log on to bonacic.nysenate.gov.